I'm just here thinking about my days Edison Junior High, now Edison Middle School. A while back, I did a video called My Bully, which is basically about a bully I had during my Edison years, and I could beat the tar out the guy, but he was connected, therefore he got away with a lot. A few weeks ago, I did a video about a girl who I thought was the love of my life. Turned out she wasn't, but at the time, I thought this young girl, Marie Randall, this bow-legged, chocolate-skinned beauty, was my heart. Didn't work out that way. Well, now I'm thinking about, there was a time in Edison, I'm pretty sure I was in the 8th grade, when the gang thing started kind of flying high around the school. Now, I had never been jumped on. I had little incidents, but I never got really jumped on by a gang. But the fear was there. The Crips were sort of in their infancy. Bloods were starting to boil up a little bit. They hadn't quite united yet, but it was about to happen. So I hung with a crew that kind of didn't get into much. And me, I was never street. So one day, I decided to kind of get on somebody's good side. Because usually, if you hook up with somebody who's connected, you never really had to worry about getting jumped on. People wouldn't hassle you. If somebody started talking smack to you, you say, I know so-and-so. Usually they leave you alone, depending on the circumstances. So there was this guy named Odell. I have no idea what Odell's last name was, but I knew he was sort of connected. And I had saw Odell get somebody else out of a scrape. So I figured, okay, I kick with Odell, everything might be cool. Now, I'm not sure what gang Odell was with, but I'm pretty sure he was, if he wasn't in a gang, he sort of was associated with a blood crew, if I'm not mistaken. So one day at lunch, I decided I'm gonna hang out around Odell and his boys. So they were all sitting around. I sat over there with them, about 10 guys. And, funny thing about guys that are kind of street, I always found they were kind of accepting. They just kind of want to groom you more their way. Whereas, especially in the case of middle class black folks sometimes, they're not necessarily as accepting, and they don't seek to groom anybody. Well, I sat over there with the guys, and nobody said anything about what you're doing here. They were cool. But I remember Odell said something like, man, I need to get me a coffee cake. Hey, you, go get me a coffee cake. Gave me the money. I ran the errand. A little bit after I got back, he was like, man, I need to get a milk. Hey, you, go get me a milk here. Gave me the money. I got the milk. So I'm sitting there hanging out with him and all. He cracking jokes. Everybody laughs. You gotta laugh at the jokes. Even though I didn't find them funny, I still had to laugh. So we're still kicking there. Finally, he needed a napkin or something. Hey, you. So I did what he asked. I remember that time, it was like my instinct basically said, stop. So I ran the errand, brought whatever it was back, I sat down, and I remember thinking, come on, it's not that bad that I got to run errands for somebody. I was never a subservient person. I mean, I hung with my little crew. We kind of, we were the guys that went to class all the time, never got in trouble for the most part. We did what we were told. And some might found that boring, but that was the group of guys I hung with. Now, I did want to hang with a couple of people that I figured might render a little more power. Not necessarily prestige, it's more about the power. Gangs, to some extent, when you're at a school with gang members, they yield power. So I did want some of that, but not where I was going to be subservient. See, back then, most of my friends knew I wasn't exactly a pushover. If you weren't connected gang-wise, and it didn't look like you were driving iron, you weren't all yoked up, you wanted to fight me, we were around the same age range, yeah, I'll fight. And I held my own. My problem was guys who had that gang connection. So I remember saying that day, no more Odell. To this day, I don't know what ever happened to Odell. I don't know if he got married, had a bunch of kids, did he end up in prison, did he get shot? I have no idea. But I do know, like I say, he was connected back then. And his connection is what I wanted, but not under the subservient prices. So, again, I had some fun days at Edison. Some days just learning experiences.